Are you trying to build the best team in Madden? Well, head on over to instantmuttcoins.com to avoid the packs, save some racks. Link is in the description below. Use code CC now for 20% off. Hey, what is going on, Madden family? We are here talking about Series 4. It is coming up this week on Friday, and with that series, we're going to be getting power passes assumed 93, 94, 95 overall, probably. They might even do 96 overall, so we're going to cover those in here today for us. Let's be great. Let's have fun. Let's take a look. Let's just hit a bunch of likes on this, okay? Now, anytime we talk about power passes coming into the game, look at this. Oh, I gotta get starting to look cleaner, right? Anytime we talk about power passes, there's always the concept of how you should be using them, right? 1A, right? Make sure you write them down so you know where they are. Okay, cool, right? But then it's the idea of, is this someone I need, or is this someone I can make coins on? Now, typically for me, on this account, like my main account here, I'm trying to cash out on a card, right? So I would go and look, and I would see like what the most expensive card is I own, and go for that overall. So what we got here last time, let's find power up passes. So I mean, like, I still have a bunch of them here for sure. So many, which probably need to start using, and probably will start using. But gonna mention 93, 94, 95, 96 are all in play, right? So we're gonna go each overall here, and just talk about a few potential choices. Now, obviously, like I said, if you're trying to add someone to your team, like maybe I would on my no money spent team, that's one way I'm gonna think about it, right? Makes sense. If we're talking about cashing out, then you really just want to pick the highest rated card that you can, and that's normally kind of tricky. So we do normally go with limiteds here, but since we're getting like every redux in the game, you know, it's gonna make it easy. So a lot of these cards here are going to be getting their power potential reduxes, right? And then you're going to be able to power them up. Now, for the longest time, it was, you know, McCourty and Saquon were the 92s that everyone was using. But someone like Shaq Griffin, Brandon Brooks, cards like that are going to be getting their shot this time for sure. And then the only other cards really that could potentially have the value are the 50 cards here, really, right? So limited edition cards of any nature, or the 50 cards, right? Now, I think if you are planning ahead and trying to make sure that this is a card you want to use, when you talk about the 50 cards, we also are hoping and waiting that there's going to be a wild card Wednesday. We're going to drop a bunch of power ups, right? But still, someone, again, I want to focus on 93 overall here for us. And there's like Revis is a good one. Ed Reed is a good card as well. But again, their power ups are expensive, right? When we talk about legends here, legends are not overly expensive at all. Legends have sort of dropped down here, but again, if you were talking, which 93 overall legend should I get? The main one that we normally are going to see is Ronnie Lott, Lynn Swan, Chad Johnson, stuff like that. Those are the full guys. Cliff Harris is okay, but a lot of these cards are kind of outdated as well, right? So unless you're using them to cash out for the 93s, I wouldn't be going and buying a bunch of training to power up cards and stuff like that at this point, unless prices obviously change, right? I think that this 93 power pass and something for 93 overall is kind of a wait and see for me, right? Maybe you can cash out and make 100k, cool, right? Would love to make 100k, but then just make sure you know where that card is. Now, as we get to the 94 and 95 overalls, there's a lot more cards out here which really stand out, right? Teddy Hendricks is a really good card. Again, not overly expensive, but he's a really good card. Lance Allworth is a really good card here as well. Leroy Selman is okay. Nothing crazy about that card. But for legends here, again, this was a small time period because we really didn't have a lot of time when cards were being released here. Now, what we're going to see here is also some ghosts and stuff in the 94, 95 as well. For me, Todd Gurley a card I do not have. Nick Bosa, a card I do not have, would make a lot of sense, right? Maybe use the power up pass on Todd Gurley for my Falcons theme team there if the Redux stays expensive, something like that. It makes sense. And then we get into the 50 cards again, and the problem with the 50 cards is if you are starting to add someone from scratch and those power-ups are not cheap again, that's tough. But if you have someone fully powered up, this is where you're going to start looking for sure. Now the 94 overalls aren't overly expensive. The 95s start to get expensive, as we see there's Gronk and Sean Taylor. 340,000 coins is a nice pocket right there as well. But one place that we want to look at is a lot of stuff that came out over the break. Charles Woodson, he's not expensive really. Derrick Henry, he's not overly expensive. Again, most people looking at that. But we also have these ghost cards which came out, which did get very expensive. Right, Danny Dimes has no power up. Steve Atwater, again, he's an undercard. Calvin Ridley, 94 overall, 180k. Oh, it's not bad to take back in, right? That's not bad. Joe Thomas, he's a little expensive still, but we're talking more about the better ones. Mahomes, look at him sitting at 400,000 coins. Isaiah Simmons, no power up. Trey White, 400,000 coins. Kamara, 650,000 coins. You better believe if we get a 95 overall pass, I'm putting it on Kamara right now. Right? I may even preemptively sell some of these cards, right? Just to prepare a little bit. It's fine, you know, make some coins back. It's cool, right? It's cool. But 94 to 95 is going to be the sweet spot. 96, I'm not too confident in them dropping in 96 pass for us because we're still getting 96s currently. It could happen, right? It could definitely happen, but I don't know. Now, one place that you always want to take a look at, make sure, is the playoff cards here too, right? So these are cards that obviously they just exist currently. Campus Heroes, no power-ups. Playoff cards, some of these guys have power-ups, and some of them are pretty expensive, you know? Like they're not cheap cards by any means. Now, again, if you have a Kamara, he's where you want to go. Take those coins, buy 2 of these cards. Right? Cool, makes sense. But we're going to get released more cards, maybe at this overall level. Right? So I think, to me personally, for a 93 pass, again, if you can get 100k out of it, cool. If not, hold on to it. For 94, you're probably looking at 150 to 200k you can make back, or again, add a card in that price range. At 95 overall, I really feel like you should be looking at Sean Taylor. You should be looking at Kamara because he is great. And if these are cards that you want to look into, and you already have to make coins, that's great. If you do not have any of these cards, right, you're just trying to add someone to your team. Again, think about me on the No Money Spent team. I want to add a significant piece, a piece that's going to be there for a while, because I have to pay for the power up and any undercards and then the training. I do not want to lose a lot of coins because you can only get half of it back, right? So it's tricky. It's a little tricky, but I really hope that they go and we can get, like, maybe it's a 93 to 94 pass, and then a 95 overall pass at level 80. But if we look here at our the daily engagement right here, people are pretty close to getting this 93 to 94 pass, which feels like that's of course going to be the next one. And then after that, power up pass here says 95 only, right? It doesn't say 95 to 96, which is what makes me think that that is what we are going to get, is a 95, not 95 to 96. Again, there is a chance it could happen. I just don't think it's going to. Right? I don't think they're going to structure that, but it has been a long time between the series updates. Just make sure that you cash out, make as many coins as you can. It's cool. It's a great thing to do. Don't do anything crazy. Again, if you have someone in mind before these passes drop, check their prices. See if you can buy their undercards or their power-ups cheap. You know, save some coins that way. A lot of these power-ups for the non-50 cards aren't super expensive. Chimera is definitely the exception to that rule. He's just such a highly sought-after card. He really is. I mean, his power-up's 22,000 coins. And you got to get this guy 60,000 coins. And that's so expensive. But just be smart with it. Again, here, I'm cashing out. I'm taking coins back, right? On the other account, I'm obviously just want to add main pieces. Don't know who I'm going to choose, obviously, as we do that on the no money spending account. We'll show you guys. But plan ahead, okay, since we know what everything's coming, right? Just plan ahead. Not that hard. Be ready. Be prepared. Don't overpay. Market's going to come down on Friday. If you wanted to sell even, you could sell. Not the craziest thing in the world. But until next time, be great. Take care. I love you guys. I'm out. Peace.